Donald Trump said later yesterday in his statements that the death toll would be good if not for blue states. Have a listen to this.
And I remember these numbers so well, and 2.2 million, that's quite a difference. So we're down in this territory. And that's despite the fact that the blue states had tremendous death rates. If you take the blue states out, we're at a level that I don't think anybody in the world would be at. We're really at a very low level. But
yeah, so there you go. He's blaming Democrats for what's taken place. Now, Kayleigh did a press conference in the White House yesterday. It was incredible. I want you to listen to this exchange. If we remember Donald Trump in that town hall a few days ago when he asked about masks, keep in mind this is after CDC director said masks could be more important than a vaccine. Donald Trump was asked about the mask, and Donald Trump said, oh, people hate the mask. People don't think we should wear masks. And then when he was asked about that, he said, well, waiters. He talked about waiters in his reference to that.
He gave an example of,
I understand.
of where one of the unintended consequences of wearing a mask.
So Kayleigh was asked about this with a reporter yesterday in regards to these waiter comments at the town hall. Have a listen to this.
The president agrees with Dr. Fauci that mask wearing is good. It's recommended. The president's continually recommended it from this podium, but he was just pointing out some of the unintended consequences if not used appropriately.
He didn't say that. He just said there are people
No,
that
he
think
did.
masks
Go on.
are.
Do you have his whole exchange? Would you like to read it out?
I watched it last night. He
When he
said
went
there
and
are
talked
people
about-
who don't think masks are good. He didn't say improperly or anything like that.
Caitlin, he went on in the very... Unfortunately, a bunch of you are very keen on doing selective editing of the president's quotes and not referring to the second half. Directly under that statement, he talked about a waiter touching the mask, then touching a plate, and that being an unintended effect of wearing a mask. That is an example of a mask not being used appropriately.
Waiters don't think masks are good. But
And he described the exact scenario in which a mask could have an unintended consequence if not used appropriately. And we can send you the clip. We'll put it up on Twitter.
So, again, quote by the President of the United States, that CNN reporter is absolutely correct. Trump said, quote, waiters don't think masks are good. That's what the president said. And Kayleigh basically calling this CNN reporter a liar for reporting exactly what Donald Trump said word for word.
He was pointing out during the town hall the unintended consequence of wearing. Like, for example, if you're at a waiter and you're walking up to a table and you touch your face and you move your mask around, you're going to spread the virus doing that. And so, yeah, honestly, a lot of people that do work. I talk to people all the time that work at grocery stores and work all over Las Vegas, and they say they hate wearing masks because they can't hear themselves. Their breath gets short. If they wear the same mask over like a couple days, I mean, I'm to the point now, which is it's disgusting, but I'm to the point now where it's a small victory for me when I wear a mask that doesn't smell bad. When I wear a new mask, I can literally my day when I leave my home, my day is a little better when I wear a new crisp, fresh mask. That is ridiculous. That is an example of kind of of adapting to this new normal of wearing masks, and it disgusts me that I'm able to that I consider something like that to be a very small victory in my life. And yeah, a lot of people that work in the United States right now and in Las Vegas, they cannot stand wearing masks, and that's what Donald Trump is talking about.
So the issue is not whether people can or cannot stand a mask or if they're a little uncomfortable. The issue is not waiters. The issue is what the CDC director said yesterday, which is how important it is to wear a mask to try to get rid of.
Well, again, if that's the case, then everything should be opened up, Brian.
Okay, you got to let me finish my statement, please. I didn't interrupt you.
Well, I thought you finished. I thought it was done.
I was not finished.
Oh, okay, I thought it was.
The CDC director himself, Robert Redfield, said how important it is to wear a mask. Might even be more important than a vaccine, he said. Again, this is the CDC director. This isn't anybody trying to score political points. This isn't anybody trying to go after the president. In fact, it's probably the opposite because he talks to the president on the phone on a regular basis. Okay? It is 100% fact that if you wear a mask, it slows the spread. Nobody has said that they are 100%. It's very similar. I use the analogy to a condom. If you wear a condom, it's not 100% foolproof that you're not going to get somebody pregnant.
It's like 99.9.
But that doesn't
Condoms
stop.
are much more effective than masks are, Brian.
But it doesn't stop people from wearing condoms. Nobody has said that masks are 100% foolproof. But you have many scientists and doctors, including yesterday, the CDC director, who emphasized how important it is to wear masks. So I don't care if people are uncomfortable. I don't care if people don't like wearing masks. Too bad. Wear the mask. We're trying to do everything we can to stop the spread of this virus, period. Now, Joe Biden talked a little bit about this yesterday, and he responded to Trump's comments about Biden failing to institute a mask mandate. And remember, I spoke about this yesterday on the air. We had a conversation about this. Joe Biden is not a policymaker right now. He can talk about the things he wants to do when he's elected. He's not elected. He's not in office right now. But Donald Trump, I think maybe Donald Trump got a little bit confused, to use his terminology. And he said, why is Joe Biden not implementing a mask mandate when he's not a politician? So Joe Biden responded to this, and I thought it was kind of funny. Have a listen to this.
Well, first of all, I found it fascinating the president said, and Biden didn't put in a mask mandate. I don't know how old he is, but I'm not the president. He's the president.
It's kind of funny. He's right. He's right. Joe Biden is not the president. It's true.
You know what else he said? He said that you should not trust a vaccine approved by Donald Trump. He said, I trust the science, I trust the doctors, but I don't trust Donald Trump, and you shouldn't either. Now,
I agree.
What he means?
I agree.
Now, how? So you're telling me that Donald Trump is actively involved in the creation of the vaccine, Brian?
Here's why. Can I answer that? Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let me answer your question by saying this. You have the experts, the scientists, the doctors that are saying one thing, and you have the president of the United States that are saying something else. I'll give you a perfect example, okay? And what Joe Biden, by the way, was trying to say is we shouldn't take Donald Trump's word, but let me give you a perfect example.
No, what Donald Trump is saying, what Joe Biden is saying is that anything approved during a Donald Trump presidency should not be trusted.
That is absolutely
whether he says it, whether he does it.
That's not true.
Or
That's
whether,
not what he said.
whether it's going to be released during his presidency.
That's
Brian.
not what he said.
And you're telling me that
That's not what he
Donald
said.
Trump is going to expedite a vaccine? He has no
That's
control
not-
over that whatsoever.
that's not
the
what-
doctors. The doctors will approve it, and the science will back it. And Joe Biden is saying, even if those two things happen, if it happens during a Donald Trump administration, don't believe it. That is some of the most dangerous rhetoric I've ever heard, Brian.
Dangerous rhetoric is when the president of the United States is saying something completely different than the scientists and the doctors. But let me respond.
No, he's just talking about the timeline. He's not talking about the actual vaccine itself.
Okay, so let me respond to what you just said. First of all, what Joe Biden was referring to was don't take Trump's word, especially right before the election. And Trump is trying to, pushing for something by November. And that's just not true. So what my point is this. I just gave you an example of why we shouldn't trust Donald Trump. We should listen to the doctors and scientists. You have one guy, the CDC director, who's talking about when we should expect the vaccine. The CDC director. He says mid-2021. And then you have Donald Trump saying that we could see a vaccine by November. Those are two completely different ends of the spectrum. You have the CDC director talking about how important it is to wear a mask to end this virus. And then you have Donald Trump speaking a completely different tune. That is what Joe Biden is talking about. What simply Joe Biden is saying is, no, I don't trust Donald Trump. If we go by these guidelines, scientists and the doctors, and how this thing is approved, then I have no problem with it going into effect under a Donald Trump administration. All Joe Biden said yesterday is don't just trust Donald Trump. Make sure it's verified and it goes through the correct process through the doctors and the scientists.
Which it clearly will, because again, the doctors,
we don't know that.
The doctors are and the scientists are putting together the vaccine, and the science is backing, and the studies, those gold star studies that you love to talk about, are backing the effectiveness of the vaccine. And what Robert Redfield actually did, if I was a small business owner and my business was shut down because it was deemed non-essential, I would be talking to a lawyer and preparing a lawsuit right now, because what he told us is that all this vaccine talk is all for naught, because masks are more effective than the vaccine, and everything should have been open a long time ago if that's the case.
He did not say that.
That's what he said. He said masks are more effective than the vaccine. That's what he said. You've said it twice now, Brian.
He did not say that everything should have been open 4 months ago. That's your opinion, which I think is ridiculous.
Well, I know he didn't say it, but how is that ridiculous, Brian? If a vaccine is not as effective as a mask, and we've had masks the entire time, then why should we have been shut down in the first place?
I'll answer.
Doesn't make any sense.
I'll answer your question.
Okay.
Why I think what you said is completely and utterly ridiculous. And the reason why I say that is this. Just because masks work, and they're not 100%, but just because masks work, you said it yourself. You don't want a full mandate. You just want to give people.
Right. I said it's not possible. Okay. There's a difference. You're misquoting me.
You got to let me respond.
It is not possible.
Okay.
It can't take place.
You got to let me respond.
Okay.
I'm trying to respond. Strongly recommended is not going to allow everyone to wear masks. There are people out there all over the place, even people where masks are mandatory, like restaurants and bars and stores that refuse to put masks on. We see the videos of it all the time. So just because masks would be out there and you have the CDC director saying this stuff, I don't think the president would say that. He's been very inconsistent on masks. So just because masks would be strongly recommended, which they are right now, by the way, that's why what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Masks have been strongly recommended for months. But I want to move on now to Bill Barr.
Right, and cases are still increasing tremendously.
Yes, so there are. Maybe we shouldn't have campaign rallies with thousands of people not practicing social distancing.
Or maybe this virus, if masks are more effective than the vaccine and cases are still jumping tremendously, then how is the vaccine going to stop anything? This virus is going to do what it's going to do, Brian. This virus it's going to spread.
So you believe in herd immunity?
Unless herd mentality, first of all, unless every single business is shut down. I'm talking grocery stores.
Herd mentality is not
unless it's a joke, Brian.
Okay, I didn't get it.
I'm joking.
I didn't get it. I mean, you've said some crazy things. I didn't know if you were serious or not.
Okay, yeah, herd mentality, obviously, yeah. I think that herd immunity, and it sounds like it's about 20 to 22%. I actually think that New York City has herd immunity. I think that's why the cases are so low there, because they had such. And if you've seen the actual graph, it's like 8 to 11 weeks where it really rises and then it drops. And the same thing's happening here in Las Vegas, by the way.